Welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. NCAA college football, week number 6. We're getting through this season already. The year's going by pretty quick. Alright, in week 5, I was 11-3 with the win losses. I was 5-8 against the spread and 9-4 with the over-under. For year to date, that gives me 72-15 on win loss, 45-35 against the spread, and 46-34 on the over-under. First game we got here is the 17th ranked Louisville Cardinals at 4-1 versus the 24th ranked NC State Wolfpack, also 4-1. Now, with everything going on the basketball side at Louisville and all the corruption and whatnot, how much of that is football related also? College football is a $1 billion a year sport. Is the corruption of basketball also on the football side, but just not yet talked about or discovered? Is Louisville going to get the death penalty on their basketball department? I mean, a lot more questions than answers, and I hate to think, I mean, if it's in basketball, it's got to be in football. There's no way it's not. But you'll never know. Anyway, so Louisville versus NC State, the 17th ranked Cardinals. I got them picking them to win. The line is -4 with an over-under 64 or 65. So I got Louisville winning. They'll cover the 4 and under on the 65. Next, we have the 5th ranked Georgia Bulldogs, 5-0, versus the Vanderbilt Commodores, 3-2. Georgia's favored by 17.5 on the road. I got the Bulldogs winning, covering, and under on the 41.5. Next, another SEC matchup. We have the LSU Tigers at 3-2 versus the 21st ranked Florida Gators at 3-1. Florida is favored by 3.5 at home. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 46.5. Another SEC matchup. We have the Ole Miss Rebels at 2-2 versus the 12th ranked Auburn Tigers at 4-1. Auburn's favored by 3 touchdowns at home. I have Auburn winning. I got Ole Miss covering the 21, and I'm taking over on the 57. Next, out of the Big 12, we have the Iowa State Cyclones, 2-2 versus the 13th ranked Oklahoma Sooners, 4-0. Their big win this year was against Ohio State. It looks like, barring a complete collapse by Oklahoma, they'll be in the Big 12 championship game this year. Oklahoma's favored by 28 at home. I got Iowa State covering, Sooners winning, and under on the 68.5. Next, out of the ACC, we have the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, 4-1 versus its second-ranked 5-0 Clemson Tigers. Will we have a repeat of the national championship game between Clemson and Alabama? Could be amazing if we do. Clemson favored by 21.5 at home. I got them winning, covering, taking over on the 47. Next, we have the 4th-ranked Penn State Nittany Lions at 5-0. They're on their way to another Big Ten championship this year. Versus the Northwestern Wildcats, 2-2. Penn State favored by 2 touchdowns on the road. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 54. Next, we have the 21st ranked Notre Dame Fighting Irish at 4-1 versus the North Carolina Tar Heels at 1-4. Notre Dame is favored by 17 on the road. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 64.5. Next, out of the ACC, we have the 13th ranked Miami Hurricanes, 3-0 versus the Florida State Seminoles at 1-2. Hurricanes favored by 3. I have them winning, covering, and over on the 48.5. And next, out of the Big 12, we have the 23rd ranked West Virginia Mountaineers at 3-1 versus the 8th ranked TCU Horned Frogs at 4-0. TCU favored by 2 touchdowns at home. I got TCU winning, I got West Virginia covering, and under on the 72.5. Next, out of the Pac-12, the Oregon State Beavers at 1-4 versus the 14th ranked USC Trojans, 4-1. USC favored by 34 at home, winning, covering, and over on the 61. Out of the Big Ten, we have the Maryland Terrapins at 3-1 versus the 10th ranked Ohio State Buckeyes at 4-1. Ohio State's only loss this year was to Oklahoma. I think it didn't hurt Ohio State as bad as it helped Oklahoma. That makes sense. Ohio State, I think they'll win out the rest of their schedule. They'll end up with 1 loss. Unless you have a couple Big 10 schools undefeated, I think, as long as they win the conference schedule out, I think Ohio State will be right there in the playoff talk. Favored by 31.5 at home. I got Maryland covering the 31.5 and picking under on the 58.5 with Ohio State winning. Next, the number 1 team in the country. How do they do it every year? Hopefully it's not what's going on with Louisville basketball. The number 1 ranked Alabama Crimson Tide 5-0 versus the Texas A&M Aggies at 4-1. Alabama favored by 26.5 at home. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 57. Next, we have the 16th ranked Virginia Tech Hokies at 4-1 versus the Boston College Eagles at 2-3. Virginia Tech is favored by 16.5. I have them winning, covering, and over on the 47. Next, we have the Michigan State Spartans at 3-1 versus the 7th ranked Michigan Wolverines. This is always a great annual game, Michigan versus Michigan State. Michigan favored by 13 at home. I have the Wolverines winning. I have the Spartans covering and over on the 40. Next, out of the Pac-12, we have the 11th ranked undefeated Washington State Cougars at 5-0 versus the 4-1 Oregon Ducks. Oregon's actually favored by 2.5 at home. The way the Cougars are playing, are you serious right now, people? I am giving the 2.5 to Washington State. I got the Cougars winning, covering the 2.5 and under on the 67. Next, we have the 9th ranked Wisconsin Badgers at 4-0. Another undefeated Big Ten team. Versus Nebraska Cornhuskers 3-2. I got Wisconsin on the road with an 11.5 point favorite, winning, covering, and over on the 48.5. Next, we have the 25th ranked University of Central Florida Bulls at 3-0. They've had 3 games canceled this year. It's amazing. All these storms and everything going on in the country right now. Versus Cincinnati Bearcats at 2-3. The Bulls are favored by 17. I have Bulls winning. I have Bearcats covering. And then I'm picking under on the 57.5. Excuse me. Next we have the Stanford Cardinals at 3-1 versus the 20th ranked Utah Utes at 4-0. Stanford favored by 6.5. Really? Well, I'm giving it 6.5 to Utah. I got the Utes covering that over on the 53.5. Next we have the California Golden Bears at 3-2 versus the 6th ranked Washington Cougars at 5-0. So we have Washington State at 5-0, Washington at 5-0, Utah at 4-0. What other Big 12 schools Pac-12 schools are undefeated? 1 loss, Oregon. It's amazing. USC at 4-1. Pac-12 looking pretty good this year. So Cougars favored by 27 at home. I got the Golden Bears covering the 27. Cougars winning and under on the 56.5. And last but not least, we have the 19th ranked San Diego State Aztecs 5-0 versus the UNLV Rebels, the Rain Rebels at 2-2. San Diego State is favored by 10.5 on the road. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 56.5. Do like to send all my condolences out there to anyone that was involved with the Las Vegas shootings over the weekend. Just a horrible tragedy in our country. Sports and everything is fun except till something like that happens and you kind of put your stuff in perspective. Normally I don't comment on stuff like that. Kind of try to leave the two separate, but I need to throw something out there. So, thoughts and prayers with everyone out there. Alright, that will wrap up week 6 of the NCAA college football season. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show. And don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports show and content.